WhyGuru, 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 WhyGuru.
We're short on time. I'm going to go straight into how is Guru Granth Sahib Ji structured. There's some interesting facts about Guru Granth Sahib Ji, okay? Firstly, how does the Maharaj start off? At the very beginning of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, if you have never opened up Guru Granth Sahib Ji, okay, the first thing you see is the Nityanem. This answers the question of do we need to do Nityanem? Think about it. Right at the very beginning, before the rest of the main body, Guru Sahib puts a section being the Nityanem section. The bit to read every day. Maharaj puts right at the very beginning. And what do you get in that? You get Japji Sahib. Okay? And So Dar and So Purkh and the bodies in between, they become, most of Rera Sahib is that So Dar and So Purkh and what's in between and after. That comes right at the very beginning. Yeah? And then you get Kirtan Soila straight after. So obviously, the morning, evening and nighttime prayers are given to us straight away. So what a Sikh should be doing at the very minimum is these three things. Japji Sahib in the morning, Rera Sahib in the evening, Kirtan Soila at night. Okay? And it's sort of like, now we would do Jab Sahib as well, and Doba Sahib and Chope Sahib, and then obviously in the evening Chope Sahib as well. But at the very minimum, we should be doing these three. Okay? What you then get is Akatti Raag, 31 Raags. Okay? It's interesting, isn't it? Guru Granth Sahib Ji then, after this Nityanem section, doesn't go straight into chapters on women, chapters like we've got this book here, it's in 10 sections. Yeah? But you don't get sections in Guru Granth Sahib Ji on a topic. It just doesn't happen. Yeah? All you get is Raags. Raag is a musical measure. It's like divided by music. And what you end up getting is 31 sections. Each section is meant to be sung in this form of music. And the music invokes in you a kind of like an emotion. Yeah? And you're meant to you feel that emotion when you read those words. It's interesting. We're going to talk about the Raags when we do the whole section on Kirtan. Yeah? But what you get is Raags. Following that you get Sloks, yeah, of different people. And then finally you end up to Slok Melanova. Okay? And in Slok Melanova, and then you get Mundavani Mahla Panjama. Yeah? And then the body after that. What's interesting is whenever you go to a Khand Path Bhog or even a Sahaj Path Bhog, normally you get there for this bit, Slok Melanova, and then Mundavani Mahla Panjama, which is Thale Vich Tin Vastu Payo. You've all heard this one part, yeah? And then it says Tera Kita Jato Nahi Manu Jo Kitoi, yeah? And then it comes Ragmala. So majority of this, so you can imagine like big bit at the beginning, Nityanem, most of it, 31 sections, okay, here as the Raags, and then you've got the ending, right? So most of Guru Granth Sahib Ji is divided by Raags, and it's meant to be sung in Raag, okay? And then you get at the end Ragmala. There's a video about Ragmala if you want to find out more about that. But really, it's not something to worth argue about anything. Point being is that we're going to talk about in the Kirtan topic what is Raag and what is this word. You must have heard like Raag Asam Mahalla Chautha Kar Tija. Yeah, that Kar has something to do with music. It's to do with the beat that's meant to be played. So not only is a style of music being prescribed, even the beat is being prescribed. Yeah. I once told this part, what I just told you now, yeah, to a musician when I was at university. Why I put this up is because I'm not a musician. And many of us, like we think, oh, that's nice, Guru Granth Sahib divided by Raag. But when you meet somebody who actually plays music all the time, and then you tell them that your scripture, the thing that you bow down to, is divided by music, and that it's meant to invoke a feeling in you. I told this to this lady, she was a pianist, she was playing music, I was talking to her. She actually just burst into tears. And I was like, what's going on here? Because I didn't relate to the music part. But when you tell this to somebody who's a musician, they are stunned. The level that somebody would think at, because music is the language of the soul, isn't it? Every single person can connect to music, regardless of what background and culture they're from. When you get somebody playing a violin or something, music, it just touches your soul straight away. And just to make a scripture and put music at the very forefront. So many times artists and stuff are told, oh, your music is, what's that, is useless. Yeah? Focus upon something more productive. And yet Guru Sahib is taking this human art of emotion, of love, where so many things are in music, and they put that right at the very forefront. Before you even say the words from Guru Sahib's mouth, the first thing you say is the Raag and the beat. Then you say what they said after. Yeah? So just Todi Mahalla Panjwa. You say that first, then you say what's going to come next. So Raag is given this massive, it's like a chariot that Guru Sahib's on top. Yeah? The Bani sits on Raag. And this lady, she just couldn't believe it. She just burst into tears. And I was like, wow, Maharaj, you know, I'm at that level now. I don't even know Raag now. That was 13 years ago. Yeah? But people who are into music, they'd appreciate how amazing this is that Guru Sahib did this. So the first you get the Raag, then you get the Tal, which is the Kar. Okay? And then how is Bani organized? So within each Raag, let's say the first Raag is Sri Raag. Yeah? It's interesting this. In Sri Raag, yeah, which is just one of 31, the first thing you get is all the Bani of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And then you get the Bani of Guru Angad Dev Ji. And it goes like that through all the 9 Gurus, yeah? So if Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji wrote any Bani in that Raag, it will be after Guru Arjan Dev Ji's Bani. Okay, you get it? In some places, they only wrote Bani themselves. So in Raag Jai Jaivanti, there's only the Bani of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, because nobody else wrote Bani in that Raag, because Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji made that Raag. Yeah? It was made by them. But the rest of the time, what you get is this structure. First, the Guru's Bani, because the supremacy is given to them. Okay? Then comes the Bani of the Bhagats. Okay? And what you get is first is Kabir Ji. There's like an order given to into the Bhagats as well. Okay? You might think that's strange. So Guru Sahib says, look, even within the Bhagats, Bhagat Kabir Ji is given Shromani level. That they are the most senior of all the Bhagats. Okay? Then after that, you get the Bani of the Pats, the poets in Guru Sahib's courts, okay, who are not the same level as the Bhagats. Okay? They're obviously still signed off by Guru Arjan Dev Ji. What they wrote is still signed off, but they're not seen at the same level. Okay? And it's ordered also within the Bani itself, it's ordered in style of poetry. So you see how I'm talking, it's very specific. It's not just a random collection of shabads, yeah? You get different styles of poetry. Now some of these words you would have heard. I'm going to say some, look. Terms like, have you heard Dupada, Chopade, yeah, Ashtpadi? Yeah? Those are all forms of these things called Pada. Now Pada is 5 couplets. So if you look at Sukhmani Sahib, you see 5 2 lines like Simar 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 Sukhapavo, Kal Kalesh Tan Mahe Mitavo. That's 1 couplet. Yeah? Go through 5 of those and you end up with 1 Pada. So what you get is, Do Pada is 2. Yeah? So you know how Sukhmani Sahib goes like Salok in between the Padas? So you got 8 of those Padas to make up 1 Ashtpadi. But you've also got Do Padas, Chopade, which is 4, yeah? And then you've got Ashtpadiyo. So it's a style of poetry. So you know how many pieces are going to be in each section. You can't just add some Bani to it. Yeah? It's written in a specific format. Okay? And these were common things that were around at that time, like Dohiras, like Saloks. All these things are a form of poetry. Like everything which is a Svaya can be read in a certain way. There's a certain style to it. Okay? Everything which is Dohira can be read in a certain way. It's like a poetical measure to it. Chopai, Salok, Chant, Var. These are all styles of poetry. Very common at that time. Guru Sahib uses the same terms there. I'm sure there's in English as well. If you were like a poet, you'd know. You know, he's written a 3-line thing might be different to a 4-line verse. See what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's organized by the who wrote, and it's also organized by the style that they wrote it in. Okay, who are the people that writes within it now? So you get Kabir Ji, Farid Ji, Namdev. What you've got basically are people who would be called Hindus, or people would be called Muslims, and some people who were kind of independent. They sort of said, "I'm neither one of those." Yeah, but what you get is the path of the saints. These are all highly accomplished saints of that time, recognized for their spiritual progress. Okay. Now, many people say, look, how come other people's writings are in Guru Granth Sahib Ji? It doesn't make any sense, right? If it's Guru, it should be Guru Bani, not Bhagat Bani. And at one point, there was a guy they decided to make a Guru Granth Sahib Ji and remove all the Bani of people that weren't the Guru. He thought that's what he should do. And for that, he was excommunicated. When he tried tampering with the work of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, as if he knew better than Guru Arjan Dev Ji. Okay? It can't be done that way. Or better than Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Because the work of Guru Arjan Dev Ji is confirmed against by Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Had Guru Gobind Singh Ji not wanted to change it, they wouldn't have kept it the same. They could have changed it, but they didn't. Okay? For me, the main reason is because what's inside Guru Granth Sahib Ji is only the truth and nothing but the truth. Yeah? It's a path of truth. It's not a religion, it's the truth. So it's kind of like, analogy might be, let's say I study maths, and I'm an expert in trigonometry, okay? And I study it from this guy who studies maths as well. But somewhere out there, there's a book which has got the same maths as inside the book that I study from. Yeah? It's not opposite, it's just the same. But that book might be written in a different language, like written in Chinese, but the maths is the same. You understand? The truth is the same, it's just differently written, but it's still the truth. So Guru Granth Sahib Ji for me is basically the book of everything. All the maths in the world, i.e. the science of getting to God, all of it is contained in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And yet other people have got sections of that. Not all of it, they've got parts of it. So truth is never binary, 0 and 1, yeah? It's kind of like a scale. So you got 0, completely false. And then bits of truth, more truth, and finally 100% the truth and nothing but the truth. That's Guru Granth Sahib Ji here. Nothing but the truth. And you've got other books in the world that may have parts of the truth inside it, but not the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Yeah. Just in terms of figures, you've got 17 saints and bhagats, okay? And you've got 13 poets. Now why I say poets and Sikhs is because some of the poets were Sikhs, and they were all Sikh really, but some of them were poets that might say nominally would have been Muslim, and yet they were really following Guru. You know what I mean? And also you've got, out of those saints and bhagats, you've got 7 Muslim and 11 Hindu. Okay? Or out of those people, the entire people. And that's why it's the path of the saints. Okay? Literally is a path of people of all religions who are following the truth. Written in many languages. It's a unique scripture in that sense. You don't get normal scriptures written in different languages. Like for example, the Quran is all written in Arabic. And it's written in that Arabic of that time. But Guru Granth Sahib Ji has got Punjabi in it, Braj Pasha in it, Hindi, Persian, Pali, like a Tibetan script. All these things are united by one thing. They're written in one script called Gurmukhi. Okay? So Gurmukhi really is a script of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. But it doesn't mean that you can understand what's inside it. See, you can all read it in one script, but it's different things. So therefore, a Sikh has to learn many of the languages to understand Guru Granth Sahib Ji. You can't just learn Punjabi and understand Gurmukhi. And this is the biggest problem in our Panth right now, is we send all our kids to Punjabi schools. Very common to go to Punjabi school. Now, they're pretty bad at teaching Gurmukhi in the first place. Yeah? A lot of kids spend 5 years at Punjabi school, still can't read Bani. But also what they're not good at is teaching the rest of the meanings of the Bani itself. So you get Punjabi literate kids who can't read Bani. Now what was the point? Why was the Gurdwara teaching people Punjabi? If Gurbani is written in Braj Pasha, Pali and Farsi and stuff, why is a Gurdwara only teaching Punjabi? Makes no sense. A Gurdwara should be where you learn about Gurmukhi. Make a Punjabi society, teach you Punjabi there. In a Gurdwara, teach them this. Guru Granth Sahib Ji should be the text that we should all be studying in a Gurdwara, don't you think? A Sikh in a Gurdwara should be learning how to read Guru Granth Sahib Ji, how to understand Guru Granth Sahib Ji. There is no point teaching you Punjabi for 5 years. Teach them Gurmukhi for 5 years. This is the problem where we're going wrong. And that's why part of the reason why the adults that come up and when we do katha in English, they go, Punjabi cha gal karya karo, Punjabi cha katha karya karo. I'm like, so who's going to explain the Farsi? How are you going to?
The reason why the different languages are used is because the Gurus used the most affluent language at the time.
Which one?
All the different languages used
Yeah.
was because that was the most affluent language at the time.
When you affluent, you mean the most prevalent.
Yeah, to show the most
Yeah.
educated at the time or something like that.
No, not necessarily. No, they spoke the language of the people as well. They didn't necessarily speak the language of the high. Guru Sahib specifically says, "Oh, I seek the company of the low." Like they could have spoken Sanskrit. That would be the language of the gods that they used to have. But they decided not to. Even they make fun of Sanskrit. You might say, well, why would Guru Sahib make fun? You read something like Jai Sri Ki War by Guru Arjan Dev Ji. When you read it, it sounds like you're reading Sanskrit. But actually, it's nothing like Sanskrit. It's just Punjabi words with a little at the end. You know, remember that when we, you must have seen that guy from Goodness Gracious Me, yeah? The yogi, the fake yogi who sits at the front, he starts chanting and he starts making up stuff like Star Wars, Jedi, all this stuff. But he's saying it in a voice, yeah? He's saying in a particular style, saying in a particular voice, and it sounds holy, right? And that's what Sanskrit sounds, has a certain sound to it. Guru Sahib actually copies that sound and that style, but they write very simple Punjabi, or very simple Bani. No, Jawab Sahib is very little in Jawab Sahib in Punjab. In fact, Jawab Sahib is very unique. It's got two languages in one part. Yeah, Jawab Sahib is like Persian and Braj and other words. It's like a Kongom. It's like one part that we do every day, which has got more than one language inside. It's got 3 or 4 languages inside it. Jawab Sahib is very interesting for that reason. And in fact, it will say like straight away words like ke husnul wajoo hai or garibul sikaste. Yeah, these are words that a Persian person would understand straight away. Yeah, but then they say straight away, you know, namastwang akale, which is very much a Sanskrit word or Hindu word. Jawab Sahib is very unique in that sense. But you see Shabas by Guru Nanak Dev Ji in Persian. You know, this pure Persian. Like I look at that, I'm like, I don't know what this says at all. Yeah, like Zafarnama. Yeah. But when they travelled, they wrote in Persian. But then you get them speaking in just simple Punjabi Hindi. You know, what people would understand straight away. Yeah. So, yeah, Zafarnama is in Persian. Obviously, it's written to Aurangzeb. And it was written actually in Persian. Guru Sahib didn't, it was taken from Persian and put into Gurmukhi. But it was written in Persian by Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Yeah, and Arabic. Yeah.
No, it is. I've got an Iranian friend, and he said they are quite different. He doesn't like to be associated with being Arab. He said we're very different.
Yeah. Culture as well, very different. But I mean, I think it's Persian. It's not really Arabic. But the thing is, at the beginning, there is some Arabic, and why I say that is because there's a famous quote in the Quran, yeah, that the Muslims will use, and they'll say that in the Quran it says, just show us if you can write anything as good as this. Yeah. So actually, at the beginning of Zafarnama, what Guru Gobind Singh does is, they write, I think, 14 verses or 17 verses that are pretty much, you know, just amazing. But they're all using Quranic language. Yeah? And if you read that to the common, say, Muslim, who didn't know that it wasn't from the Quran, let's say he wasn't a Hafiz, yeah? He would assume it was from the Quran. Because it is literally like the Quran. But they write it. And it is amazing. Yeah? So they were an expert in that. You know, Guru Nanak Dev Ji was also an expert in the Quran as well. They were taught it from a young age. Okay? So, just to go into a little bit more. Now, some people ask this question now. Okay? What's Lariwar versus Padchid? Okay? Now look very carefully and try to read that line. Yeah. All right. So well done, yeah? Now, you had to concentrate, didn't you? You had to really concentrate on what you're reading and not just flick. Yeah? Bani used to be written in this way, in Lariwar. Yeah? Padchid means the word is like a use, and ched means a cut. Yeah? Ched that does, you split it. Now, why is it written Lariwar? Firstly, to learn Lariwar, to be able to read Lariwar, you have to be taught it properly. You can't just sit down, like I could sit down now and read an ang from Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Okay? But I have not done Santya of the whole of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. But because I can read Gurmukhi, I could read it slowly, get by. But I couldn't read Lariwar Sarup. I couldn't just sit down and read it. I would have to have read a lot of Gurbani first to be able to even read it. Because how do you know where the word stops? How are you going to read that if you can't read English? If you're Spanish, and we give you that, you can't read that. You've got no chance. You have to know the words, be fluent in the language of Guru Granth Sahib Ji in order to read Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Which meant that only people that would read Guru Granth Sahib Ji out to other people would be those who were learned in Gurmukhi. Not just any old person turns up and says, I'll tell you what it's all about. You have to have studied. It was a way of test, a way of keeping out random people from just deciding they knew what Gurmukhi said. They'd have to learn it from a certain school. Yeah? And in the old days, you learnt when they accepted you as a student. You didn't just learn anyway. Somebody taught you. And they didn't always teach everybody. Yeah? They vetted the person, you might say. Yeah? Also, there's another reason why it's like this. Okay? Did you all have to really focus when you looked at when you read that? Okay? So what does it do? It improves your concentration. Yeah? Like for example, now we're in a hot room. Yeah? Right, the windows aren't open. Some of us are feeling a bit drowsy. It's late night as well. Okay? You have to really focus, don't you? To keep focused on what's going on. Right? Now, the same way, when you read Bart, you have to focus on the words. So it actually improves your focus if you do it this way. And why? If the minute if you read Bani a lot, let's say generally you read Bani every day, yeah, it's very easy to read Bani and not have read what you read, because you just become like a rote. It's easy to just read it, just like you might read a book and not really focus upon the words, and you'd be like, oh, I missed something, go back. Now, you can't do that with Ladivar. The minute your concentration slips, you get lost, because you don't know what you're reading. You can't read it that way. You have to really focus. So it's actually, you're in the zone. When you read in Ladivar, you stay in the zone for much longer, and your concentration improves. And Bhakti is all about this concentration of the mind. Ik man hoye, ik chit. Focused mind, focused concentration. And it causes it to happen just the way it's written.
So where in the Guru Granth Sahib would you actually find Allah?
Oh, where?
Where would you actually find Allah?
Where in Guru Granth Sahib Ji?
Yeah.
The whole of it was written in Ladivar.
Oh right, so it's only since.
Yeah, so it's only in this this century. It's just we've gone past 2000. So in the last century, like mid last century, the people started to print Sarups of Guru Granth Sahib Ji not in Ladivar. Before that, it was banned. You were not allowed to print Ladivars, not Ladivar Sarups of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. People would have pothis that were split. Pothis mean small parts in the Nitnem Gurkha, but never the entire Guru Granth Sahib Ji. It was always kept as one. And in some places, the split has actually caused controversy, because you were like, that's not how the word was meant to be split. Yeah? It's not one word, it's two words, or this goes with that. So there's a bit. So keeping it together avoids that controversy. You pronounce it differently, but at least it's written the same. Okay. Anyway, my argument, I'm not trying to become some kind of preacher for Pachit or whatever. That's like way. The key thing is, how is it pronounced? How is it meant to be understood as well? Okay. But this is important to remember, that this is actually how it was. So I don't want to see you go away thinking, oh, this is how it used to be. This is not how it used to be. It used to be all joined up together. Okay. Some interesting facts about Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Yeah. Okay. It is unique in this sense as well. Most of it is just poetry about God. Songs about how we should live and about poetry. There's no specific subject in any specific area. And also, you don't get these long stories about people. You don't get, what if you read the Bible, what you're going to get? Old Testament, New Testament, or even the Quran, you will get a lot of stories. This Flana went there, then he was smoten by God for how he did something wrong. Then they moved from there to some other town, and then again fell into inequity, and then they were smoten, and then they decided to be better, and they went somewhere else. You get these stories of people. Guru Granth Sahib Ji is not like that. All you get is poetry, all you get is, devotion to God. When you do get stories mentioned, okay, they're very sort of touched upon. They're not in detail. That's why we need Katha. Katha to explain the Bani. When it says Harnakush was Harmarya, Prahlad Taraya, that's it. You have to know who Harnakush was, you have to know who Prahlad was, to understand that Shabad. So there's always needs to be Katha of Bani. You can't just read Gurbani without knowing the concepts behind. At the moment, a lot of people just do Kirtan all the time. So you go to Gurdwara, they have Rera Sahib, they do Kirtan, and then people just do a bit of Simran and they finish off. What happened to explaining the Bani? Gurdwara is you're supposed to go to Gurdwara and learn something. Now, if every Gurdwara you went to, every evening, did half an hour in English Katha, explain the Bani every day, and every child grew up listening to Bani explain to them, you just imagine what would happen to our Panth in 20 years. Massive difference, isn't it? What we are is a bunch of Sikhs, students, who are uneducated in what the teacher's trying to tell us. Guru's a teacher. Hanji. Okay. Alright, I'll address that. So, do we need to learn Gurmukhi in order to understand Gurbani? Okay, firstly, whose translation? What was the spiritual level of that person? What do we know? Who can judge the spiritual level of another person? Can you judge? Can you go up to somebody and say, "Oh, to Mahapur ki hai?" Very hard, isn't it? And the translations often are very literal. Like, the bumblebee looks for the lotus flower. What does that mean? What does it mean? Anybody want to hazard a guess? You have to explain the explanation. Right? It's very hard to understand Bani directly sometimes. Yeah? Like, I'll tell you one. The moon of wisdom has arisen. What does that mean? Who's it talking about? Guru Granth Dev Ji. Why do you know that? Because at the very beginning we talked about this on week 1, yeah? Now when you look at that Shabad, Chand Chadiya, you think, oh, he's talking about Guru Granth Dev Ji because he is the moon who reflects the sun. And in Kaljug, it's a dark night. Suddenly you've got all these concepts coming up without just one line. Kaljug is the world we're living inside. There is no light, there's darkness all around. The moon comes up at night time. He reflects the sun. You can't get that from a translation.
And also, like, Gurbani is written in Raag as well, so you would not
Yeah.
get that.
Second thing is, right, that's very key to Penji. So, the explanation is not enough from the English text. Because unless you're going to read a long speech about this, you can't get that unless, if you're going to sit in a Gurdwara and read the translation like this, the moon has arisen and the moon is Guru Nanak and it's Kaljug, and he's singing the line and you've already missed it. So you need to learn the word. Yeah. Secondly, how can you do it from the Romanized only? Let's just take it just on the language side, right? Why can't you just learn the word in Romanized Punjabi? Well, how are you going to write it? There's 4 T's and 4 D's. What are you going to write about them in Punjabi, in English? You're going to change the annotation for each single one, aren't you? And it's every single person who transliterates Guru Granth Sahib Ji use a different way of transliterating it. So every Gurkha you get has got some word like T and D together. What's that mean? Ta-da. Yeah? It's saying ta, but you can't say ta in English. Any form of English, that letter does not exist. You have to make up something. Yeah? So Gurmukhi is the simplified way of learning Gurmukhi. If you want to read it in English, you're going to end up confusing yourself. Gurmukhi is the easiest way of reading Gurmukhi. Anything else will complicate it further, and you'll always be confused. I've not met a single person who reads Romanized English, Romanized Gurmukhi, who can pronounce it properly. Not a single one. Yeah? And none of them are confident about talking about Gurbani. Whoever reads only Romanized English never is confident about standing up on a stage and talking about Bani. Now, here's another reason. Bani is Guru. It's not just a text. It is your Guru. How can you become a Gurmukh? The aim of Sikhi is to become a Gurmukh. Agreed? Yeah? Sikhi is trying to get to what a Gurmukh is. Gurmukh means the mouth of the Guru. Literally, facing the Guru, the mouth of the Guru. If we can't read Gurmukhi, how can you become a Gurmukh? Very hard, isn't it? And finally, Kirtan. Who's going to sing Kirtan with the English translation? Let's get out the Raag Kirtan, yeah? And then we're going to sing the moon of wisdom. Can you imagine sitting in a Gurdwara singing the moon of wisdom has arisen? Come on. You can't, can you? It's not poetry either. It doesn't rhyme. Guru Sahib, Gurbani is not just, we talked about it last time, Gurbani is not just showing you the way, it is the way. Singing Bani, you can get to God. Singing in Raag, you can get to God. You cannot sing Gurbani. Yeah? Now, this is the problem with the Christianity. They haven't got any Sachi Bani left. They've got no Sachi Bani left at all. Yeah? It's got translated from Aramaic into Greek, from Greek into Latin, and from Latin now into English. Yeah? Chinese whispers is very common. Translation problems are very common. What you've got now is Sikhs now doing this, yeah? Russian Sikhs are taking the English transliteration and translating that into Russian. Now, my wife is Russian, yeah? My wife can read Gurmukhi and she's Russian. And she told the people in Russia, you're translating the words wrong. Because K-A-U-R, they see that and they go Kaur. So what they've written is Kaur in Russian. Because Russian's in a phonetic language. So they looked at English and they wrote it as Kaur. She's like, you can't write Kaur, it's Kaur. And yet she got that vowel exists in Russian. The O exists in Russian. It doesn't exist in English. You have to make it up with 2 different sounds. But they refuse to use, right? Because they're used to learning the transliterated English translation Then they're using that now to put it into, you see the problem. And now, who would trust, the English translation nowadays being translated into French? What could go wrong with that? Translate the English into French without knowing the Gurmukhi. Who's going to trust the translation of the translation? How far is that going to be from Guru? Sometimes I correct the Sikhi to the max all the time before I put it up on the thing, because it just says like perfect one. Panj Khands. You would have to be a Mahapurukh, to understand the Panj Khands from the English translation. Good luck. That's what I'm going to say. Good luck. With no katha and no explanation apart from the English translation, good luck. Yeah, I've been reading the English translation for years. I didn't have a clue what the Panj Khands were about. Yeah, it says the realm of beauty. Oh, Sita. There are Tete Sito Sita Mehmamai. Myriad of beauties. I don't know what it said. I was looking at the translation and I was like, this is nuts. And who's going to understand it from there? Yeah, for some things the English translation helps. Yeah, but nothing beats going to the Gurmukhi. Nothing beats going to the Gurmukhi. Now to tell you, let you into a secret, it's easy to learn. And it's easier to read it in Gurmukhi than it is to read it in Romanized. With Romanized, you're always going to have that doubt. How do you pronounce this word again? Is it da? Is it da? Is it da? Is it the? You'll never know. You'll always be guessing. I hope. I'm not sure. But if you get the Gurmukhi, you'll know. Ehi hegi. This is it. This is the way to say this word. Okay.
So the definition of body changes as like your sort of mind frame, how you're feeling when you're reading it. Like the same line you read, you'll feel differently about it, but the English translation is fixed. You can never feel differently about it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not open to interpretation once it's written in English. That's what it is. So my benti to you guys is, on our channel, there is a set of videos called Learning Gurmukhi. Okay, just go through the first 3 videos. They just talk about why should you learn Gurmukhi. Okay, some of the things we talk about now and a bit more. Also, how does Gurmukhi actually work, and the letters. Just watch the first 3, and then we've gone through the letters and explained them, what are simple to pronounce, what are a bit more harder to pronounce. Yeah, and just have a go. It's what, 15 minutes of your time? Surely you can spare that to just figure out what Bani is all about. Yeah, and you trust me, if you go through it, you'll realize the value of learning it. It's worthwhile. It's not hard either. Okay. I'll say it's indexable. I'm going to talk about this, yeah? Right, this is an interesting point that only really occurred to me. Every phone has got Sikhi to the max nowadays, yeah? You can download it from iPhone. Gurbani is so amazing that if you want to find any shabad out of 1430 pages, average of about 10, 15 shabads, yeah? Or 5, 6 shabads at least on a page, right? On an ang. You can find any shabad in Guru Granth Sahib if you just know the first 4 letters of any line. First 4 letters of any line. First, not 4 letters, but the first letter of every word. You know, like, and then he went to maybe A, and then T for then, H for he, W for went, yeah? If you know those 4 letters, the first letters of the words, for any line, you can find that shabad. If you have 5, you'll find the exact shabad, or you'll get a list of topics. It's made indexable. Guruji made it indexable. Don't think they changed words around. They could have said har soi. They said soi har. They changed words around, so everything in Guru Granth Sahib Ji is unique, and therefore it's indexable, and it's easy to find. You can laugh about this, but Guru Gobind Singh Ji and Guru Arjan Ji, they knew, yeah? They knew this is going to come along, right? And Sikhs are going to want to know how to find that shabad. There's going to be computers to index Gurbani. And they knew, and they made it. It's future-proof. You buy computers now and you say, I want to get a future-proof computer. I won't have to just upgrade it in the next 6 months. Well, Bani is future-proof. It's space age. It's way beyond where we are even now. Okay? People are learning more things, how to find things in Guru Granth Sahib Ji now. It's already there in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Yeah? We didn't know Sikhi to the max was going to work so easily. But when they made the software, they found out, wow, it's indexable. Bani was written over a time span of 500 years. There's no such text. 500 years. Different languages over 500 years. All makes sense, and it's all in one script. It's amazing. It's unique in this way. But also, yeah, it's 11 languages in total. So Guru Granth Sahib Ji is very unique, yeah? That's what I'm going to say. It's not just like any other scripture out there. It's just amazing. Okay, Istanasri Mahalla Nova, yeah, which you can kind of read, yeah. The W in that becomes plus. So what you've got here is, you can't read this, but the Shabad is by Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, 9th Guru. Okay, it's in Gurmukhi, you can't read it right now. But you see this last part here, 2, 4, 9, 9, 13, 58, 4, 93. This is translated properly. Yeah. Now, this is what I want to talk to you about. How is it numbered? The indexation, not just the indexation by the letters, but also every Shabad has a specific number at the end. Every Shabad has a number. Okay, not just a unique number for that Shabad, but it's part of a bigger system. And we'll go into that now. Okay, what you've got here, that Tanasir Mehla Nova was like this. You see, that was what was written at the top there. Obviously it's in Gurmukhi now, but you can see it in Roman letters, yeah? But this is what was written there. What does this mean? For most of us, when we see it, we're like, numbers, move on. Yeah? This is very specific. What this means is, it's come up there somehow, but it's written, put it into Hindi or something. No, I don't know. Anyway, point is, this Shabad has 2 paragraphs. Okay? The Shabad specific, the first 2 is about the Shabad itself, and how many paragraphs it had. I'll go back to it. See here, there's the first one, and there's the second one. 2, there. Okay? You've got 2 paragraphs in this one Shabad. So every Shabad has stanzas, yeah? And they're numbered, like 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. And when it finishes off, it will say 4 again. They say this had 4 stanzas. So if anybody adds another one, it won't make sense. Because that 4 will be wrong, it will be 5. You'd be like, where's that 5 come from? It's only supposed to have 4. You can compare the different sarups of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, right? If you were to have a check, and you can see where there's a mistake. That shouldn't be in there. Okay? Secondly, after the 2, you've got this. This is the 4th Shabad in Raag Tanasri by Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. It was written by Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, wasn't it? Mehla Nova. And this is the 4th Shabad in that Raag that they've written. So every time the next one will have then 2 or 4, whatever it is, then it'll have 5 after it, because that's the next Shabad. The one after that will have 6. That's 6 Shabad by Guru, only by Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji themselves. Right? But then, what it does is, it then says 9. See, 2, 4, and then 9. This means now Guru Sahib's got to 4. But what it says is it's a running total of what's happened so far, because they finished now. Okay, then it summarizes. Before this, there was 9 Shabads by Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Okay, 9 Shabads. Then it says, okay, that there was 9 Shabads by Guru Amar Das Ji. Why is Guru Amar Das Ji next? Because Guru Angad Dev Ji didn't write anything. Otherwise, it would have been Guru Angad Dev Ji. Okay. Then it says, okay. Then after that, it would say that there's 13 Shabads by Guru Ram Das Ji, the next Guru. So remember, it's in order. Then it says, look up there, look, 13. So you got 9, 9. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Amar Das Ji, Guru Ram Das Ji, 58 Shabads by Guru Arjan Dev Ji. That's next. And then 4th and last Shabad in Raag Tanasri by Guru, because that's the next Guru. So it's come with the running total of all the Gurus so far, 9th Guru. And then in total so far, the whole of those running total of those 9, 9, 13, 58, 4 is 93. Running total of everything. You can't change anything. That's what I'm trying to say to you. You can't change anything. Very hard. Guru Sahib made this indexing system. Hanji. No. No. But the stanzas are all part of one Shabad. So they just get numbered off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because at the front it will say Raag, like I said the previous one, it said Mehla Nova. And then it will go to the end of that, and then it would give an end to that Shabad, and it would stay. Like it would say 4, then it would say 4 again. That this is how many stanzas were in this. Or it might say 5, and then 5 again. That's the end of this Shabad. Yeah? 5 in total. And then it would give you running total. At the end of the Raag, you'll always get this running total. This is what happened in this Raag. Hanji. Yeah, Ladivar has numbers. No, Ladivar doesn't mean that you don't get this. You get those 2 lines. So the Shabad, you get the end of a line, and you get those 2 straight lines, and that's the end of that line. Then you get the number, and then you get the next line or pankti. But it's always, the words in between. This doesn't mean you don't get. You cannot not have full stops. It just has full stops and it has sections. But within the line or within the pankti, you get no breaks. Hanji.
it's fixed in this way, then how are you going with making alterations? Like I know that when I read the Japa section, that's missing from the nickname. And I know that when I read the job base of that whole part where it says Dora, Ariel,
Yeah.
that whole section's not
Yeah, but they're still numbered the right way. They take it out, but they don't change the numbering system. But Japji Sahib should have no changes. No, I doubt. It's probably Rara Sahib you're talking about.
No, what whole page missing.
But that's probably a good car got misprinted.
It's actually an app, it's my internet.
No, I didn't. App should has the whole. Has it. Or complain to the developers. At least the app wasn't made, by Guru Nanak Dev Ji themselves directly. Japji Sahib was, yeah. Guru Granth Sahib Ji has it full at the front. Yeah. You can't change the number. Like look at Japji Sahib. Every body's got a number. Yeah. So you can find which body you're looking at straight away. All right, let's quickly go through because we want to. Okay, so that's 90. That's all the shabads. Now, so after this, you've got all the shabads. Then you've got the ashpadiyan, which are different. So they get a different numbering system. Still the same rag, but you get the shabads are counted off. Then the ashpadiyan are counted off. So it's very specific, like where the bani fits into. You can only go in that section. Now, unfortunately, us guys, me included, we're not experts in Guru Granth Sahib Ji ordering. The point of this was, because you won't really remember it, the point of it is to show you that Bani is very organized. It's not a random thing. Okay, it's very organized, and therefore Maharaj has made it that way. It's a very perfect system in just the way it's ordered. Okay? And you cannot add a takeaway without any discrepancy being found out by somebody. Okay? Or easily found out. If you see there's a problem in this, you can then compare it straight away to some other sarup from somewhere else and see, yes, there is definitely a problem. This is wrong. Okay. Famous parts you must have heard about. Japji Sahib starts at Ang 1. Very beginning. Japji Sahib. Okay. Guru Granth Sahib Ji starts with Japji Sahib. A 6th day should start with Japji Sahib. Okay. And 8. So it's 8 Angs of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Sukhmani Sahib you must have heard about. I'll put some of these, not every numbers, but because when you go to parts, sometimes they'll say, oh, let's go to Sukhmani Sahib from Guru Granth Sahib Ji. You won't know which one to go to. So 262. Ang 262 is Sukhmani Sahib. Okay. Bara Maha, this is the one they read out for every month. There's a separate month. Bara Maha just means 12 months. Yeah, and it's a month for every season or every month they've got a special part. And that's what they do at Sangrand. You'll see people read that out. That's at 133 to 136. Anand Sahib, which is in a name in the morning, 917, 922. Asakiwar, I haven't put a number in because it's in different sections. There's a chants from Guru Ram Das Ji that are separate from how it's written in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. That's added on to it. It's like a tradition started by Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji that they would use the chants of Guru Ram Das Ji alongside Asadiwar in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Okay, so you can find it online in your Gutke and stuff. Jaisri Ki War, these are famous parts that people would read. They're all from Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Okay, Basant Ki War, O Ankar. It's a Bani called O Ankar, Dakhni O Ankar by Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Okay, Siddh Gosht, the conversation that Guru Nanak Dev Ji had with the yogis. So you know how we talked about Guru Gobind Singh Ji had a conversation with Bhai Nand Lal and it's recorded. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji had themselves record their own conversation with the yogis. And it literally that Nath said this and Guru Nanak Dev Ji said this. Yeah, so it's in that format as well. Okay. And then obviously loads of Kirtan that you would have heard is in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. What's nice sometimes is when you're reading Guru Granth Sahib Ji, you suddenly come across Shabad you know already. And it's nice to think, oh look, that's that Shabad that I know. Yeah? Right? And that's the good thing about reading Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Yeah? You find things, you go, oh it's here, oh it's there. Because you're already familiar with a lot of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, but you don't know where. And you suddenly find it when you read.